We are a species of storytellers. From our earliest beginnings of stories around the fire, art upon the walls of cave dwellings and oral folk traditions passed on, we've made sense of the world through telling our stories. Today, here on this platform, we're around a global campfire talking to one another, sharing our lives. You've heard this story many times. I have enjoyed hearing others tell their version of it. The narrative that follows a trajectory of expected worldly success. We have witnessed it time and again. The dreams we pursued, the ambitions we hungered to fulfill, the drive, the work ethic, the sacrifices, following the formula, doing what was expected, pushing our bodies to their limits, chasing the status, never quite satiating the ravenous ego. Arriving, prayers answered, star rising, spotlighted. So, I'm here. Why do I feel so unhappy? I had everything I wanted, didn't I? Because the world built by the power-hungry taught us that work should be everything we want. Work is our title, our vocation, stealer of our earthly hours. It is who we are. But what is it really? It is time spent feeling lonely in a crowd of mismatched souls, away from the ones we truly love. Being out in the world, realizing our wildest dreams with no one pulled close to share them with. We pay the price with lost sleep, with compromised values, inauthentic identities. I paid the price with my health. Ironically, my physical breakdown came in a matter of weeks after I'd already made the leap to a new life. I'd been transitioning from life on the road to hopes for domestic bliss for well over a year. Looking to put down roots, change career paths, start a family, find a grounded community, enjoy the routines of a simple life and natural daily rhythms, away from jet lag, airports, hotels, etc. Very gradually, over time, I extracted myself from the exhilaration, but simultaneously, over that same period of time, my body was experiencing its own perfect storm. Nervous system overload, adrenals on overtime, stress as my baseline, all bodily systems in revolt, trying to force me to just stop. We have not physically evolved beyond our Stone Age capacities just because 21st century capitalism expects us to operate like a mechanical component in its fast-paced machine. We are human animals on a natural planet, orchestrated by the cyclical movements of the sun, the moon, and the Earth's axis. Push back against Mother Nature's intentions and you may break. Brought to my knees by exhaustion, pain, immobility issues, insomnia, the cruelest of punishments for the already withered, and all manner of dysregulated functioning, gradually, finally, I was halted. Planted in one spot like a child on a naughty step. Sit there, be, wait, learn, heal. Imogen Heap wrote a great song with a poignant lyric, "There's beauty in the breakdown." Maybe you see it or you don't whilst you're in it, but in hindsight you recall the gathered quiet moments you'd been longing for all those years in overdrive. Sitting in a garden, lying on a bed, sheltering from a sweltering summer, only coming out to see the ends of the day in a pink sky. Feeling every moment of the fatigue, pain, the fall from grace, the undoing of everything you'd worked for and hoped to become. Only in these moments do we search with all of our soul for spirit, for a greater power to scoop us up and make us whole. Wholeness came through the medium of stillness, through nature's infinite, rich gifts. Kindness from those who mattered most, slow woodland walks, time amongst plants, plants in my bloodstream through herbal remedies, falling into fascination with the moon, literally stopping to smell the roses. In the words of Deepak Chopra, in the music of hands lifted to the sky in hope that a higher frequency was now channeling through. My soulmate animal sat by my side, his demeanour not judgmental, just content that we were now at the same pace of life. Amazingly, over time, my stamina increased and I could walk further and longer, a happy lone wanderess feeling the previous ideals of life fall away. Bliss is watching patches of sun on the wall, the hypnotic smoke of a joss stick unfurling, or the flicker of a candle in the dark of night. A tiger moth repeatedly landing on you to warm its wings, you frozen like a statue, cherishing the moment. Walking barefoot on grass, paddling in the mineral-rich sea, the earth literally charged me back to life. Here I revelled in my hippie self, my inner child brought forth to meet the wild woman adult. The little girl, fascinated and enjoyably scared by stories of witches, became the woken witch. Witchcraft, meaning the craft of the wise. My wisdom and craft was music, and here I was no longer able to make it to the stage. I turned to the studio. I spun my stories into song, drawing inspiration from the great healing. My former artistic identity, formed of prisms of light and head-to-toe rainbow colour, gave way to a shadow self rising. A dark winter ensued, lit by moon and candle and laptop glow, as I put into song the soundscapes of the natural and supernatural worlds. I wanted to sonically capture in song the feeling of howling into the darkness across a deep ravine whilst enveloped in the inky depths of a cool green forest. A primal cry and intuitive journey back to syncing with the seasons, the wheel of the year, the light and the dark. This journey into the esoteric, the occult, the supernatural helped me explore the innate ability to self-empower. This flies in the face of that aforementioned 21st century machine. Is this why they burned witches? Those who can self-heal, heal others, use intuition and agency to walk their own path. Those who believe in a cosmos rich in unseen forces, but have knowledge of the gentle properties of mere plants to medicate. These are the ones that have threatened the status quo. These are the ones who refuse to be ruled. They rule only themselves. Inspired by these stories from ancient deities such as Circe, cast away on her island, a fallen goddess but a witch woman free, through to the 20th century Wiccans, mystics and activists who inspired the acronym Woman in Total Control of Herself. This felt like finally reaching the precipice of my truth. But when you are out on that precipice, allowing yourself to teeter on the edge, showing up in the world as your most openly real self, it's hard not to lose balance and fall. Relapse and healing became a cycle as sure as the seasons. I had to journey deeper, exploring the possibilities of the actual human mind to heal its host brain and host body. The infinite realm within, the unknown frontier inside our own craniums. Back to Deepak Chopra's soul healing and ego deaths, Joe Dispenza's metaphysical meditations. What you think you become. Think yourself well. Think yourself well. The physiological marrying with the mystical. And as I speak, and so it is. Calming the rapids of the nervous system, balancing the chi, rewiring the neurons, somatically releasing the wounds. Take a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. But radical acceptance is a tonic in itself. Sometimes the harder we push, the harder the pushback. And so acceptance of what is becomes the remedy. Acceptance of the downs between the ups, and those ups never again stretching to the peaks of my former life force. Am I a shadow of my former self or a necessary incarnation? I miss my verve, my coin, my audience. But I have shed that skin, and somehow out in these literal and metaphorical wilds, I have found my purest form. If I try shape-shifting away from her, intuition guides me back, if not a parental slap from the universe. My soulmate animal departed this realm recently, and that slap stung the hardest. In a moment of losing this light, this joy, this uncomplicated love, my neurons rewired themselves. Why would you do anything that wasn't what your body fought for you to become? This inner battle cannot continue post-grief. An animal has true earthly wisdom. They do as they please, present in the moment, adapting to the elements. I write this as the indent of my boy fades in long grass, but the indent of his spirit is forever entwined with mine. I am ready. I am ready to offer my campfire stories. I'm not here to force a following, but I hope to welcome a community. I believe when we are compelled to make our art, it is God, the universe, insert however you sum up a higher power here, moving through us, encouraging more beauty to be put into this confusing world. Create. Create, because creation fights destruction. New thoughts, new science, new songs, new stories restore order to a disordered planet. I am but one drop in its ocean, but the ripple effect is valid. Sometimes I can't make it out the house, but I can build worlds from my sofa, imagineering a life vastly bigger than this one so reduced. But on good days, I can make it to the forest, reclaim my earthly hours, and wander through Mother Nature's exquisite wonderland. I will never be more successful at life than that.